Welcome to Truth Talk Live.
All right, let's talk.
The truth is, I can't hide it, I can't hold it no more.
A daily program powered by the Truth Network,
This is kind of a great thing, and I'll tell you why.
where pop culture, current events, and theology all come together.
Speak
Your mind.
And now, here's today's Truth Talk Live host.
Yours truly, that's right, the Russian Nightmare Nikita Koloff, host of the Man Up Show, as well as Q&A with Koloff. And if you hadn't checked that out, go over and check that out on the Truth Network. Hey, you know what? I just want to say right out of the gate, I really appreciate the man of the hour, the Tower of Power, really too sweet to be sour, Stu Epperson, founder of Truth Radio Network, and his comments about being a girl dad. Boy, can I relate to that. Taryn, Tawny, Kendra, and Colby. I'm a girl dad as well, having raised 4. Our first grandchild was a girl. I'm like, really, Lord? Like, can I get a boy in here somewhere in the mix, besides a son-in-law, a son-in-law? And then finally, after Salem was born, some boys came into the picture. In fact, most recently is little Fletcher, our newest grandchild. And so thank you, Stu. And thank you to our president and administration for standing up for girls. And, I'm not saying that, if something hadn't changed that I would have put my wrestling skills to use. But I'm just saying I might have had to put my wrestling skills to use if somebody abused one of my daughters in a locker room or somewhere else, maybe on an athletic field. Hey, with me today, what a joy, what an honor, what a privilege to have this man in the studio with me, longtime friend. I think we figured out 30-plus years. Roger Gadd. Roger, welcome to Truth Talk Live.
Oh, man, thanks for having me.
And Roger's in the studio with me. In fact, we just recorded a couple great shows that you're going to want to look for that name, Roger Gadd. We had some great conversations about discipleship and evangelism. And he's a man out in the marketplace. He works down in Concord, North Carolina at Birchfield Insurance. But he's a marketplace guy, but he is an evangelist out in the marketplace. And, our topic today, and of course, if you've heard me host or come on and as a special host for True Talk Live, I do a little Bible trivia. I love to give away 8x10 autograph wrestling photos, maybe for you or maybe for somebody you know. And so we're going to have a little Bible trivia today. And in lieu of what's coming up on Friday, and anybody know what's Roger, what's happening Friday?
Gosh.
It seems like it's like some kind of special day or I don't know. Like something to do with hearts or something, or what is
I
it?
better not forget that day. That's it.
you better not, because you got some daughters and you got a wife of 34 years, right. Michelle, right?
Right.
Yeah, it would probably be good to at least bring her a box of chocolates, Roger, or something.
Oh, she likes chocolate. Chocolate's the go-to for her.
I'm not going to just kind of stereotype here, but I don't know. I've met a woman that kind of didn't like chocolate. Now, ladies, don't get mad at me out there, but for real, I have raised 4 girls. I think the majority of them like chocolate. So, anyway, so Valentine's Day, right? Valentine's Day is coming up on Friday. So I just thought, kind of in lieu of that, we talk about love today. And of course, you're out there in the call-in world. We love taking calls, and of course, you're going to call in and give the right answer to my Bible trivia here in a moment, and win a free 8x10 autograph photo. But if you have a comment or something to say, or maybe an answer to one of my questions, I'm going to actually throw some questions Roger's way. But we're going to see if you might have an answer for me. Hey, let me give you my first trivia question to kind of ponder, and if we get to it before our first break, great. And if not, coming out of our first break, you can call in. I'm going to make it kind of as easy as possible. Think about Nebuchadnezzar in the Bible, okay? Nebuchadnezzar in the Bible, and he went to, there were some really smart Jews there, Roger, that got kind of, they brought all these Jews into Babylon, right? And so there's someone in particular who he went to for answers and interpretation of dreams, etc. And so here's your choices, okay? You call in, you're going to call in and give an answer. Did he go to Jeremiah? Did he go to Daniel? Did he go to Ezekiel? or one of his advisors? Who did Nebuchadnezzar lean on when he needed an answer, interpretation of a dream or something? Call 866-348-7884. 866-348-7884. That's 866-34-TRUTH. If you know the answer, who did Nebuchadnezzar lean on? Jeremiah, Daniel, Ezekiel, or one of his advisors? Call on in here. And Roger, let me give you the kind of the first question I want to go to here before we give our callers an opportunity to maybe call in with an answer as well. So Valentine's Day obviously occurs every February 14th, right? And all across the United States, even other places around the world. But what would you say? What are some of the more popular things? We of course we already talked about a box of chocolates. What are maybe some other things like you might bring your wife, or someone out there might bring their special person in their life?
Obviously, flowers is a go-to.
Flowers, yep,
Okay.
yep.
Always
yep.
take her out to a nice dinner.
Okay, dinner's good. Right? A lot of restaurants have the little dinner for two, Valentine's special, right?
That's right.
So could do dinner, flowers, of course, candy. We mentioned candy, right? And any idea? Now, I just want you to think about this, okay? I just want you to think about this. We're going to go to break here in a minute. Any idea? Think about how much, okay? How much will be spent in America? And these are just kind of average numbers, okay? It could be higher, lower, whatever, but on Valentine's Day. Think about when we come back from break, if we don't get a caller to call in, I may just ask you for a guess. Approximately how much money will be spent in America? So we're just going to limit it to America on Valentine's Day, okay? So you're a sales guy. You're in sales. You do sales insurance, so you know about sales. So, but give that some thought. And then I want you to be thinking, who was Nebuchadnezzar's advisor? Who was his kind of one of his main advisors? I want you to call in 866-348-7884. We may have, you know what, Shannon, hold on. We're going to get to you in just a moment, Shannon, okay? We're going to have to go to break here, and I don't want to cut our conversation short. So you hang tight, Shannon. When we come back, we're going to get the answer to the trivia question. Don't go away. Stay tuned.
Truth Talk Live.
You're listening to the Truth Network and truthnetwork.com.
All right. Your host, Nikita Koloff, back in studio with my friend Roger Gadd. And Shannon over in Mooresville, North Carolina. Shannon, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Man, thank you for hanging in there, Shannon. You're a trooper. What you.
No problem. Glad I got through.
Yes, sir. So Mooresville, North Carolina. I'm pretty familiar with Mooresville, Shannon. What keeps you busy down in Mooresville?
Well, I'm actually a retired teacher, and after my 30 years in the teaching business, I went to work for the Mooresville Parks and Rec Department.
All right, 30 years in teaching. Well, God bless you for sewing into all those kids for 30 years. Appreciate you. And so you got an answer to my question, Shannon.
Yeah, I think Daniel is the answer, that Nebuchadnezzar reached out to Daniel.
Boom, you got it. More specifically, if somebody needed a scripture reference, Daniel chapter 4, verse 27, but you are spot on. Roger and I were just discussing on the break here, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, and Daniel, right? And so don't go anywhere. My man Nick, my producer there, is going to get an address. Now, are you an old school wrestling fan or yes, no, kind of?
Oh yeah, I grew up watching the Road Warriors and all you guys there off and on for a while.
Oh, come on, Legion of Doom, right? Animal and Hawk, right? And well, very good. Well, I appreciate it. We're going to get an 8x10 autographed photo out to you. Just tell Nick who you want it personalized to. And last question before I let you go, Shannon. Doing anything special this Valentine's this Friday?
Well, my wife and I are going out to eat Thursday, actually, for Valentine's at the Epic Chop House there in Mooresville. And then Saturday we're catching the Charlotte Checkers hockey game Saturday afternoon.
Nice. Nice. Good for you. Well, the Chop House, a little plug for the Chop House, man. I've eaten at a couple of those. They're pretty good food. So sounds like you're taking good care of that wife. How long you been married, Shannon?
This June will be 32 years.
32. My man across from me here, Roger Gadd, 34 years for him. So congratulations on that. What's your wife's name?
Her name is Sherry.
Sherry. Shout out to Sherry and Shannon, man, in Mooresville, North Carolina. Appreciate you being a follower of Truth Radio as well, Shannon. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, God bless you. Enjoy this weekend. Enjoy that Checkers game. And hang tight. Nick's going to get a mailing address so we can get that 8x10 out to you, okay?
Thank you very much, and bless you guys for what you do.
Thank you. God bless you, sir. All right. Shannon calling in with the first photo giveaway there. So Roger, let's before I go to another trivia question, let's go back to my trivia on Valentine's Day. Rand, take a stab at it. You're like, I wouldn't even know what to guess. What do you think? And all the listeners out there got a number in their head. What would you think?
Oh, gosh.
Again, these are just proximate
Right,
numbers.
right.
But
I have actually heard per person before
okay.
about $60 or $70. Okay, so
Okay.
if let's say, gosh, what we're gonna say, 100 million.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's not a bad guess. So only 27.4 billion with a B. Okay.
Sounds like I need to spend a little more money on Valentine's. Is that what
You may need to bump it up for Michelle there, and let me just help you out on the average on the individual basis as well, since you brought it up, because that's actually one of my questions as well. And so for you out there in listening land, hey, and feel free if you just want to call in 866-348-7884 and have a comment maybe about what you're going to do with your special little honey. Okay, this Valentine's weekend. If anything, feel free to call in and share that with us like Shannon did. 866-348-7884, 34-TRUTH, 866-34-TRUTH. So a survey, now this is by the National Retail Federation, okay? This is where I got this number from. The average American, Roger, will spend, you ready for this? Okay. So all of you out there got your number in your head, right? What the average American, now I gave you kind of the net or the gross, I guess. Here's the net. We're going to break it down. Ready? $161.96.
That's what I said, didn't I?
No, you said $60 or $70. Good try, Roger.
yeah.
Good try, Roger. 161, and these are probably old numbers too. You know, the numbers may even be bumped up a little bit higher at this point, but $161.96. Okay, on average, and Valentine's, it's a special deal, right? I mean, the title of my show today was we love because He first loved us, right? 1 John 4:19. So the whole reason we can even celebrate this day of love, Roger, is because He first loved us. Thoughts about that?
That's just powerful. How many? I mean, think about it. Think about it in your life. Who loved you first besides Christ? It would have been your parents, not really anybody else.
Right.
I mean, really, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So that's a powerful statement. And you know what? When you can really wrap that around your mind, and it's really hard to still understand how much that He loves us. Mm-hmm. I mean, really, but it's just unimaginable. So when we can get a little grasp of that, boy, it's just life changing.
And what comes to mind for me is, you talk about, and maybe there's some out there, maybe didn't have the most loving parents. I mean, for the record, my mom was 76 the first time I ever verbally heard her say I love you, because I started initiating that. My dad was in his mid-80s. And again, because I started initiating that through my salvation encounter and my love for Jesus, and He put it on my heart to start expressing my love to my parents, right? And then, of course, I'm reminded, Shannon, who just called in, 32 years of marriage, 34 years of marriage for you. Then you leave your parents, right? The Bible says the two shall become one, and then you begin to love someone else, right? And you begin to love that spouse, and then eventually maybe you have children, and then you become a parent and begin to love those children, right? So let me do this before we go to break. Let me just kind of shift gears here, go back to our trivia again, because I just love giving away 8x10s. And so maybe, you know what? Maybe you're like Shannon. And during the temptation in the wilderness, okay, here's your next trivia. During his temptation in the wilderness, what Old Testament book did Jesus quote to rebuke Satan? A little bit tougher question, okay? Exodus, Deuteronomy, Psalms, or Isaiah? What Old Testament book did Jesus quote to rebuke Satan in the wilderness, during his temptation in the wilderness? Exodus, Deuteronomy, Psalms, or Isaiah? So you call in 866-348-7884 when we come out of our next break. Want to give away another autographed 8x10. So give that some thought, contemplate that. And in the meantime, let me throw this out there, Roger. So we talked about gifts, candy. What about, here's something else. What about cards? Cards. Will you get your wife a card? Valentine's
I
card?
definitely will, but
Well, at least you will now.
You know what I would do for my wife that would make her happier than any of that?
What?
Vacuum the floor. There you go.
Vacuum the floor.
Yeah. Hey,
Come on.
clean up. Hey, empty the dishwasher. Take the dog for a walk.
All right.
Hey.
Well,
yeah,
I think we got an
she
answer
is-
to our trivia question when we come back. And we'll talk about how many Valentine's cards are sold on Valentine's Day when we come back. 866-348-7884. Hang in there. We'll be right back.
Truth Talk Live.
You're listening to the Truth Network and truthnetwork.com.
We are back. Nikita Koloff, formerly the Russian Nightmare, now the Devil's Nightmare, host of the Man Up Show on Truth Radio and Q&A with Koloff, questions and answers, where you get a personal phone call from me and get to ask me questions. How about that? Hey, I think we got an answer, Roger, to my next trivia question here. Becky down in Waxhaw, North Carolina. Becky, are you there?
I am here.
Hey, Becky, how are you today?
I am fantastic. How are you?
I am wonderful, thank you. And you have an answer to my second trivia question?
I believe I do.
Okay.
It was Deuteronomy.
Boom! You got it. My man Roger here did not get it, just for the record. So he said his daughters are listening to us today. So, hey, Dad gave a great answer for his wife. But yeah, Deuteronomy. In fact, the reference there for folks, go to the book of Luke, chapter 4, verses 1 through 12, and you'll see some of that story right there. Deuteronomy. Becky, are you a Bible scholar? How'd you know that was Deuteronomy?
It's just one of those things that I remember.
Yeah, boom, you did. So you're down in Waxhaw.
Boom, it came back to me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, so okay, Becky. So just out of curiosity, so kind of a wrestling fan, not a wrestling fan, or what? Just a Bible fan.
Okay, so I am a Bible fan.
Okay.
I personally have never watched wrestling.
Okay.
However, interesting, I have a client who is married to Magnum TA.
Come on.
And I also used to do the wife's hair of R-Truth.
Yes.
So I know some stuff, but my kids, my daughter and her husband are huge wrestling fans.
Oh, that's amazing. Magnum and I still are friends to this day, and we've done some things together, some signings and different things, and we talk pretty frequently. Hopefully, I'll put a little teaser out there. Hopefully in 2026, folks, keep your eyes open, because I think there might be a little combo action figure package of Magnum and I celebrating 40th anniversary for the Best of 7 series. So that's pretty amazing. So, well, wonderful,
Nice.
Becky. Well, my man Nick here will get a mailing address. You tell him who you want me to personalize the photo to, so we'll make sure we get that done, okay? And
Great. Thank you so much.
well, thank you listening to us down in Waxhaw. And one last final
every
question.
day, all day.
Nice. Anything special you're doing for Valentine's this weekend, Becky?
Not for Valentine's. My husband and I, our anniversary is actually the 16th, and we learned a long time ago Valentine's is too crowded, so we celebrate everything on the 16th. So we've got 34 years of marriage coming up.
34. Wow. I wonder. So when what was your Roger? What was your wedding date? What was
November 2nd.
Okay. Oh, good thing. Good you knew because your daughters are listening.
Oh,
so
yeah.
November 2nd. Becky, when was your wedding date?
It was February 16th, 1991.
Okay.
And we were also dating for 7 years before that. So we've been together for over 40 years.
Wow. Well, congratulations on that as well. Happy Valentine's. Happy anniversary to you. God bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you as well.
Well, thank you. Well, thanks for calling in today. Becky down in Waxhaw. Okay. You're listening to True Talk Live. And my man Roger Gadd here. And so 2 winners, Roger. Now we got 2 winners here so far. 2 for 2, man. Hey, let's go back to, since we're talking about Valentine's Day, we're talking about cards, okay? And so how each year, approximately how many cards? Now, it says sent, so I don't know if that, some people still do the old school mail. I do. I mean, I'm known for that. But I guess you can do it digitally, not right. Easy for me to say. Electronically. Maybe I should say that. But all that said, how many cards are sent in the U.S., okay? Now, excluding packages, like the kids' Valentine's. You know how you used to buy? Did you used to do that for your kids? I did for mine, right? You buy like the 30 cards for all their classmates or whatever.
That would be my wife did all that.
Okay. Well, I did that for my kid. Like buy them like right. So every classmate gets a card, right? So excluding that. What would you say? How many, just take a random guess, how many cards are sent out each year in the U.S.?
Let's say 100 million.
100 million. So this is according to the U.S. Greeting Card Association. Okay. So you're a little more in the ballpark. How about 145 million?
Okay.
So you were close. Good job. Good
Just
job.
missed by 45 million. That's not much.
Okay. All right. Okay. Here's a part 2 to the question. So, and that's second only to what holiday would trump? No pun intended, I guess. What holiday would trump Valentine's cards? Might you guess?
Wow. That would be Christmas, obviously.
Boom. Good job. Hey, you're making your girls proud today, Roger. Second only to Christmas, okay? And here's a little random fact for everybody out there. Approximately 1,500 types of Valentine's Day greeting cards that are offered by who's the number one card maker, do you think?
Hallmark.
Good job, man. Yes, Hallmark. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna try before we go on with a little more. And if you got something special you're doing for Valentine's, like 866-348-7884. Call in. You don't just have to call in for the trivia questions, although I'm appreciate Shannon over in Mooresville, Becky over in Waxhaw. We got the North Carolinians calling in today, Roger. We're cranking it out in North Kakalaki here, North Carolina. So you were born and raised in Concord, North Carolina.
Absolutely.
Your whole life been there.
Never moved. Well, I might have moved to Charlotte.
Moved around,
right,
but
area.
you never.
Yeah,
wow.
Absolutely.
Wow, bro. How many? Okay, so you never lived anywhere else, but how many countries would approximately have you visited? Would you roughly? How many countries?
Countries?
Yeah, pick a number. Roughly, how many countries?
I'd say, let's see, 2.
2?
Yeah.
What 2?
I'm just trying to think where I've been to Mexico, obviously.
Okay.
Okay. I've been to, gosh, where else did I go? My wife took me somewhere. I'm trying to think. She took
You're-
me somewhere
you're
for my
not
60th birthday.
You're not necessarily a
But,
world
That was
traveler.
after I had a big surgery.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
So,
Well, okay. I'll give you
you're
a break
gonna-
there. I'll cut you some slack right there. Okay.
You would have had to.
All right. Let me throw one more trivia question out here. So see if somebody gets this. May not get it before our break, but maybe coming out of our break. Joseph. Okay, this is going to be an easy one. Joseph was sold to Potiphar, captain of the guard. His nationality was, here's your choices. His nationality was an Ishmaelite, a Canaanite, an Edomite, or an Egyptian. What was Potiphar's nationality? Joseph sold into slavery and to Potiphar, captain of the guard. His nationality was Egyptian, Edomite, Canaanite, or Ishmaelite. I guess that's how you say that. 866-348-7884. I'd love to give one more 8x10 away. Autograph, personal autograph, photo, wrestling. You know, when I first came to the South, Roger, people educated me on the 3 hours to the South. Like, this is a true story. You can't make this up. Do you know what the southern 3 hours are? I know what the northern ones were.
No, you go ahead.
You know, up in Siberia, I knew what the reading, writing, and arithmetic, right? And they said, and I promise you with this vernacular, and they were serious. They looked at me, don't get offended by my attempt at southern draw. They said, ricin', wrestling, and religion. That's the 3 R's in the South. I'm like, got it, okay, you got it. I didn't know I was a wrestler, right? But anyway, 866-348-7884 if you know the answer to my trivia question, or if you got a little something special planned for your honey this weekend, Matt, we'd love to hear what it is. Give us a call to dial on in. And so, Roger, so how much if you were to guess or want to guess, you don't have to think on this, Roger, what the number one Valentine gift is. Okay, so we talked about gifts, candy, cards, dinner, all those sorts of things. But what would be the number one gift that's given? It's kind of a two-part question. What's the number one gift, and the cost? So think about that. What's the number one gift, and what's kind of the average cost for that gift? And when we come back from our next break, we'll give the answer. I'll see if you have the answer first, but maybe we'll get a caller as well. So just appreciate you. 866-348-7884 if you've got an answer to the trivia question, or you'd like to share, or you have an answer to what the number one Valentine's gift is. And or what the average cost of that gift is. So don't go away. When we come back, we're going to talk to Mike up in Dayton, Ohio. Mike up in Dayton, Ohio. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. True Talk Live.
Truth Talk Live.
You're listening to the Truth Network and truthnetwork.com.
All right, we are back. We're hoping to get one more trivia question in here. If you know the answer, Joseph was sold to Potiphar, captain of the guard. What was his nationality? Egyptian, Edomite, Canaanite, or Ishmaelite. Before we go there, and you can call in 866-348-7884. We're going to go up to Dayton, Ohio with Mike. Mike, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you.
Hey, Mike, you're going to tell us where you taking your wife for Valentine's Day.
Well, my wife loves pizza, and just like Robbie's wife loves pizza too, and she loves pizza. I love pizza. So we're going to go out to the local pizza joint at Dewey's here in Dayton, Ohio.
You know what?
They're to die for. I mean,
wow, it's that good, huh?
Yes, I really like it. So.
I did not know that Robbie's wife would love pizza that much. You just let me know. I just learned a little something there. Thank you.
You're welcome.
For that insight there. I'll bring that up next time I'm with him. So I appreciate that. Hey, let me ask you, Mike. Let me ask you a question, and appreciate you calling in from Dayton, Ohio. So, any guesses on what the number one Valentine's gift is? Any guesses? Roger, do you know? Do you have a guess?
Flowers.
Whoa, bam! Come on, Mike. Yeah, flowers. Now, a little harder question. Yep. What do you think the average cost for those flowers is? And just take a stab at it.
$22.
All right, we're going to bump that up. Roger, you got a guess?
73.
Roger's a little closer, $73 per order on average. Okay, last question for Mike. I'll go to you first. Most men opt for what kind of flowers, Mike?
Roses.
Boom. And Roger, any guess in what order of color?
Oh, obviously red.
Red first.
White.
White second. Hold on, Mike. What do you think the third color is?
Yellow, I would think.
Pink.
Pink
color.
Wow.
Yep.
Sorry.
So, no, all good.
That one.
Thank you. Well, Mike, thanks for being a listener to True Talk Live. We appreciate you and supporting Truth Radio. So, hey, what's your wife's name?
Tammy. Yeah.
Tammy. Okay. And the best pizza joint in Dayton, Ohio. Is that what I heard?
That's what I heard.
All right,
and that's what my wife loves. So that's why it's the best.
What's the name of it? What's the name of it?
Dewey's and Dewey's Pizza.
Dewey's in Dayton.
Yeah.
There you go. Dewey's in Dayton. Check it out. If you're in Dayton, Ohio, check out Dewey's Pizza. According to Mike, the best pizza in Dayton, Ohio. So God bless you, Mike.
God bless you, too.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for calling in. All right. If you have an answer to the trivia question before we are out of time, 866-348-7884. What was Potiphar's nationality? Hey, Roger, let me ask you, we're talking, love, right? Valentine centers around love. Kind of open the show with 1 John 4:19. We love. The reason we can even love is because he first loved us. He gave us that ability, right? And that capability. You and I were talking on the break. Give a couple of examples. If you were to define love, what's an example or two, just a quick example or two, or different ways you can express love? Maybe that'll be a little easier. What's a couple different ways you can express love? Besides what we're talking about on Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Well, obviously what I've learned, and we talked a little bit about it, we talked about the Gary Chapman love languages. Obviously would give
5 love languages.
Yeah, you have all that. I learned that early on in marriage.
Quality time.
Do I actually say I've done that very well?
Do you know all 5?
Okay,
Gift giving?
Gift, physical touch.
Physical touch, yeah. Every guy knows that one.
Yeah.
Quality time.
Acts of service.
Yeah.
And time.
Come on,
Yeah.
Quality time.
Yeah.
Quality time. Wow, look at you, man. He crushed it. Hey, girls, you should be happy of your dad. I'm just saying, he's in the Grand Slam home run today, and I think, Roger, let me just say this. I think, in a way, I kind of feel like when we all stand before the Lord one day, right? Because every knee will bow and every tongue will confess. Hey, if you're not a Jesus lover and a Christ follower out there today, I want to tell you, it'd be no better time than even right now to surrender your life to Jesus. Open your heart, confess and repent, and ask Jesus into your heart. I assure you, I feel confident to say this Valentine's Day will be different than any other Valentine's Day you've ever had. If you'll do that, if you've never done that. And if you have, God bless you for surrendering your life. Roger, I feel like one of the questions, you kind of ponder, I just go there. I'm like, I wonder what he'll ask, or what he'll say, or what I hope to hear. Right? Well done, thy good and faithful servant.
Right.
But I kind of feel like he's going to say, "Did you learn to love? Did you learn to love? Like genuinely love, genuinely love me, and genuinely love other people. Did you learn to love? Right? The greatest commandment. Right? Love the Lord your God with all your what? Heart, soul, mind, and strength. And then he said the second is." What's the other part? Great.
Love others.
Love others, right? Like you love yourself, right?
That's right.
Man, he's the foundation of love. And so Man, just think about that. Here, that's a what if for you out there in listening land, okay? What if? What if one of the questions he asks you when you stand before, and every one of us will. Every one of us will. I mean, every knee will bow, every tongue will confess. And he looks at you and says, did you learn to love? Just as foundational as that, did you learn to love? And Roger, man, there's plenty of times I'm like, Lord, I know how limited my love is. So Lord, help me to learn to love the way you love. Help me to see people the way you see people. Fill my heart with your unconditional love. Man, don't we so many times put conditions on other people when it comes to love?
Because I say that all the time. Let me see them the way you see them.
Yeah. But would you say on a surface level, our love's pretty conditional?
Oh, absolutely.
Right? Because our capacity is limited, isn't it?
Yeah.
But if we learn to love the way he loved, right? And what is it? We love because he first loved us. He loved us unconditionally in spite of ourselves, all of our faults, all of our flaws, all of our sin, all of our shortcomings, right? All, caving into temptation, lust of the eyes, lust of the flesh, pride of life, right? Just all of it. But he still loves us. Powerful, right? And, hey, do you have an answer to the question? Last trivia question. We only got a couple minutes left. What was Potiphar's nationality? Edomite, Canaanite, Ishmaelite, or Egyptian? Okay, so nail it down for you. Love to give away another 8x10. Hey, Roger, this is interesting, too. How much chocolate do you think the average American buys every year for Valentine's Day? Chocolate. Average in pounds. In pounds. This is crazy. I'm just going to tell you it's a crazy number. Crazy number. Any guesses? Like a random guess?
10 billion.
Well, that's not
that
quite
much.
that crazy. I'll just tell you, 58 million pounds of chocolates purchased in the 7 days leading up to February 14th. 58 million. Okay, what do you think the most popular candy would be?
Hershey's Kiss.
Heart-shaped boxes of chocolates are the most popular. So heart-shaped, right? Because it's all about love, right? The heart symbolizes what? The heart symbolizes love, right? Yep. And so a little random fact for all you out there, and from my friend Roger here: Valentine's Day candy in America with and right up there, the pink and red M&Ms are not far behind. Pink and red M&Ms, not far behind. And in some states, I would have never thought this, Roger. Cupid corn. Cupid corn. A seasonal take on candy corn. Right? Never would have thought of that, right?
If I start bringing candy corn home, we're going to have a problem.
All right. Anybody got the answer? I may have to give this 8x10 to Roger if none of you have an answer out there. Roger, you could. I'll sign one for you. You can tell me who to sign it for, right? But Joseph sold into slavery. So Roger, who was he sold into slavery by? Remember Joseph, the coat of many colors, sold into slavery by, right? They're out there. First they threw him in a well. They're like, let's not leave him in the well to die.
Obviously, his brothers did.
His brothers did, right? And one of them had compassion on him. Like, one of them had a different level of love for him. I think it was Reuben, I think. They're like, no, let's not let him die in the well. We'll fool Dad by, man, when you look back, here's what I learned from the Bible. Like, there's been dysfunction in families from the word go, right?
But Joseph showed true love, though.
He did, didn't he? He, as the second most powerful in Egypt, there's a guess for you right there.
I know.
As the second, well, for listeners,
right.
As the second most powerful in Egypt, right? Like, he could have totally, when they came for food, railed on them, right? Could have had them killed, could have whatever. But his unconditional love, and let me tell you, who did he love the most? Like, when he sent them away, he said, bring back. Because they didn't bring one of the brothers.
I don't remember.
The youngest.
But I was going to say this. You know what he expressed more than anything in that love was forgiveness.
Forgiveness and love. He asked his youngest brother because there was a lot of all like half siblings, right? But the youngest one, he said, bring back the youngest one, because that was his full blood brother, right? And he wanted to see his full blood brother. And so, hey, it's Valentine's Day coming up. True Talk Live. I'm here with Roger Gadd, my dear friend from Concord, North Carolina. And I don't know how you're going to go out and celebrate love, but I gave you a hint to the trivia question. Joseph was sold, the captain of the guard's nationality was Egyptian. And Joseph eventually, through his love for God, Roger, stayed true to his call and became the second most powerful, ended up loving his family and all of that. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Go listen to the Man Up Show, hosted by yours truly, Nikita Koloff. Q&A with Koloff. Go check out Truth Radio. Get the app if you don't have it yet. And until next time, the Russian Nightmare is signing off. Thanks you, Roger, for being with me today.
Hey,
God bless you out there.